So hi, I'm Brent, and in this video, I'll be taking you through my Game Week 1 thoughts. Basically just talking about what worked, what didn't, and what to improve, and which assets I'm keeping an eye on. Starting with like the negatives, I want to say Man United, they sort of let me down. Yeah, I think everyone's already said how bad that whole performance was, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect that from them. I sort of thought that with the new signings they've got, that they'd be like, I don't know, better. But I think it goes back to even like the Solskjaer times. Like, they've just always like underperformed against teams that sit back. And I think this is something we have to adapt into our thinking going forward. Um, so yeah, they've got Everton, Ipswich, City, Fulham, and Spurs next. I think out of those five, I expect them to do well against Man City and Tottenham, who are just gonna let them, who are just gonna have the ball and put the pressure on Man United, and Man United will have lots of space to counterattack in behind. And I'd expect them to do less good on against Ipswich, Everton, and Fulham, who are just gonna let Man United have the ball and won't give them any space, and they just look to sit back. And I think those are the games where I'm going to regret having three Man United players. Like maybe they'll get a clean sheet with like Maguire, or maybe we'll get like a header or something, or maybe Bruno will get a penalty. But I don't really expect massive goals from those games. And yeah, this is something I'll be looking to move away from on like my wild card. Like 1, 2, 3 Man United players. Next, it's Mitchell. I wasn't really expecting much from him. He's like a 4.5 guy, and I don't know. I guess I was indifferent to Palace. They've lost a lot of players. I guess in hindsight, I should have seen this bad performance coming, but yeah, it's just not something I didn't expect. I didn't really have much going on for him. He was 4.5. It's like an easy risk. Like, yeah, it's just no like high stakes in it. So yeah, it's disappointing, but it's whatever. I don't think I'm starting him again though. I think I'll just look to wildcard and like get him out of my team. Next is Kinski. Spurs defense is another thing I wasn't sure of. But yeah, that performance was disappointing to say the least. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna ride with the Bruggen for now. Because yeah, at least sometimes they keep clean sheets. It never gets any saves, but sometimes they keep clean sheets. So yeah, I'm just gonna ride with Bruggen against Chelsea, Leeds, Coventry, Arsenal, Sunderland, until like whenever I decide to like wildcard. Okay, and next the Arsenal boys. One of my earlier drafts had Calafiori and Ben White, and so yeah, it's just something I regret. I regret taking out Ben White for like Harry Maguire, but it's whatever, I guess. Good job here. Next is João Pedro, and yeah, like he always starts good, but I never usually have him at the start, and he always like punishes me by a lot. So at least it's like a good change to be like on the good side of that and just like benefiting, even if he is like 65% owned. But yeah, it's just like set and forget, good process. It'll be interesting to see how good Chelsea attack are against like Brighton, who are like a competent defense and they can shut down a team tactically when they need to, and Arsenal, who, as much as I hate to say it, are the best defense currently in the league. So yeah, it'll be good to see how they perform, because that's who I'm going to test them against. Next, it's Haaland, and yeah, I know, like a lot of like online managers, they don't have Haaland. So going into the City game was weird because I'm a Man City fan myself, so I was rooting for him to like do well, but then I was also like hoping that like he doesn't like punish me too much because I had Bruno Fernandes captain. And yeah, in the game, it was like just like it made for scary viewing. Like he had like 0.7 XG. He had like just like some really decent shots at goal that he should have scored but didn't. So yeah, I got away with one there, and I think I'm just gonna captain him against Palace, Coventry, because yeah, Palace are not good right now and they have midweek games, and so yeah, they'll be tired and lucky. So that's what I'm gonna look to target. And yeah, next it's Coventry. That's an easy captain. The tricky one is Man United because Haaland has a good record at Man United against Man United, but he doesn't have a good record at Old Trafford. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where my mind is at game 4. And yeah, he's like, I don't think he's ever scored against Sunderland. So yeah, that would be like interesting as well. So yeah, I have to see how that captaincy situation develops. And yeah, second penultimate is Calvert-Lewin. And I don't know, like, I don't know what I was really expecting from Calvert-Lewin, but 0.1 XG, it's poor. But I guess it just stays until like the next wildcard, whenever that is. But yeah, and yeah, onto the bench boost. It's not very good. Like O9 at least started at 0. At 4 million, which is like good. The yellow card isn't ideal. I was maybe hoping for like a bit of DEFCON. He only got like 4, which isn't ideal. And yeah, he just played his role on the DEFCON on the bench boost and is not starting again. And yeah, O'Shea was a surprise. He's a right back, but he got DEFCON. I like that. And yeah, he'll be coming in for Mitchell on the next game week. And Florentino will be last. I didn't really see this coming. I mean, like a 9-point bench boost isn't like the end of the world. Like normally with my bench boosts, I always hope for like at least 10 points because you can usually get that in like 2 returns. Okay, so next I want to talk about my watch lists. There's a lot of defenders that I'm going to be considering or I'm keeping an eye on for my wild card. First is Mukiele, because he was tremendous last season. Like, 151 points. This season, he was like completely unused on the bench for Sunderland. I don't know what that is, but if Sunderland defense are as reliable as they were last season, I kind of fancy them for these fixtures. Like, even if they don't like keep clean sheets, I fancy them because last season he had 9 clean sheets, 5 assists, and 3 goals. So he's almost like Daniel Munoz in that. So yeah, I like defenders who get like attacking returns consistently or have like a fair amount of attacking returns, because it doesn't have to be the end of the world when they concede in the game. You can just like expect them or hope that they get something like a goal or assist return. So that's someone who I'm keeping my eye on. Next is these 2 Newcastle players. That is Malik Chow and Lewis Hall. Between these 2, I like their fixtures. Tottenham and Bournemouth aren't ideal, but they're okay fixtures. But then you have this run from Hull, Coventry, Villa, and Palace. So obviously these 2 teams are bad right now, and that might not be the case by the time Game Week 7 rolls around. But for now, that's a really good run and something I could look to tap into. And yeah, Bournemouth and Leeds aren't also ideal, but you can like stretch it. Like, I'd at least expect Chow to like get like DEFCON from these games just because of what the defending they may have to do. So yeah, Newcastle defense is something I'm keeping an eye on. What I can't decide is who I want more between Chow and Hull, because Hull is more creative. He launches more crosses, but Chow is more reliable in the sense that even if he doesn't score or assist, he could get DEFCON. And over the course of the season, you saw that last season with 33 starts and 126 points for Chow. And then against Hull's 24 starts and 79 points. So maybe like the amount of starts has like something to do with it. But overall, Chow is just more reliable from like set pieces and corners to like DEFCON. Next is Bournemouth, actually, because now these are some hard fixtures, right? Brentford, Chelsea, and even like Liverpool as well. Those are hard fixtures, and you wouldn't really like expect clean sheets from them, right? But Bournemouth were really good last season. Like they hadn't lost since like Semenyo left, and they had like this whole unbeaten run, and they were like cleaning up points with Marco Sinesi getting like 175 points. So what I'm thinking is that Antonio Silva could be a steal at 5 million if Bournemouth can reach those. If Bournemouth can get back to those levels and just like start keeping clean sheets against the odds, right? And also, it doesn't help. I mean, sorry, it's like also a benefit, like if he gets like DEFCON and that. But yeah, if like Antonio Silva can like, and Bournemouth can start keeping clean sheets against the odds, that could potentially be lucrative. And next, is, Man City defense. I like Gehi a lot, and not just because he scored, but because of his performance. So he's not always going to play in midfield. I think Maresca said that was just like a tactic for that game, and it's something like he'll utilize sparingly, like going forward. So it's not going to be every game. But I liked what I saw from corners, because yeah, with City defense, you're not going to get much DEFCON, because we don't really do that much defending. We usually have most of the ball, and we defend by keeping possession. So yeah, but what I liked from him was that he was a target from corners. He should have scored a cross from Anderson, like he just got the header wrong. So yeah, if his starts are guaranteed and he's a target from corners, he could be good at like 6 million. That's still like kind of a lot, and it's on the higher end of what I'd expect. But yeah, like just like keep an eye on him. If he's like a regular starter and is like continuously the target of corners, then he could be like really good. And same goes for Gvardio, because at the end of the game, he was playing like right up front next to Haaland. Now I think Gvardio is someone that's always going to start. I think like either at left back or at centre back, he's always going to start. And when the game gets that dire and he's like playing right next to Haaland, it could be like lucrative at 5.5, because yeah, Man City are good with like intricate passes in small spaces, and like yeah, he's like good at shooting with both feet, both his right and his left. So yeah, he's just someone you can keep an eye on. There's better value elsewhere, but if you're looking for something more guaranteed, like traditionally City defense hasn't been like good for FPL points. Like they've been decent, usually getting the second or third most clean sheets every season. But yeah, for the price, they haven't been really worth it. But if City defense improves, or it looks like it's getting better, then these two goal scoring defenders, or the closest thing City have to goal scoring defenders, then I think they could be lucrative and better value for money than say Nico O'Reilly. But yeah, Gehi and O'Reilly are like I don't know, I don't want to say outliers, but just don't expect them to be playing in like those advanced positions like every game. And especially O'Reilly at like 6.5 million. You don't want to spend 6.5 million on a defender who may not start week to week to week, or who like starts but is playing a different role every time. So I'd say let's keep an eye on that. And yeah, next is Brentford. When I was choosing my 4.5 defenders, I just picked Mitchell randomly. But if I could, obviously I'd change to Coyote. His fixtures, they're not good, but they're not like terrible either. And he could be value for money at 4.5. He's got set pieces, and he was like shooting a lot in the game versus Tottenham. Obviously, they're not gonna play Tottenham every weekend, but yeah, that's someone I look forward to jump onto, especially if they can like start like just keeping clean sheets, or like defending well, or like getting lots of DEFCON. I think that's something that could be really good at 4.5. But yeah, and still with Brentford, here's just Kelleher. I actually think he's like the best 5 million goalkeeper, and I'm looking to wildcard around game week 3 or 4. And whilst the fixtures aren't good, he's someone that's really good for saves. And if he saves a lot and like keeps a clean sheet, that could be like a potential like monster haul. So yeah, that's someone I'm keen to keep an eye on at 5 million. All right, next is like the midfielders. Hinchil, just because obviously he scored in this game again, he's playing advanced, but I like his fixtures a lot. Obviously I can't bring him in right now because we still don't know what they'll be like against like Chelsea, maybe like harder defense. Leeds and Coventry are good, but then from there it's like Arsenal, strong defense. Sunderland away, strong defense. Palace, okay, you can get at them. Liverpool away, strong defense. Man City away, strong defense. So it's sort of like someone you keep an eye on, but he's not necessarily a rush to bring in, just because they can be like, he's got some very like strong defenses away to like just to deal with. But from game week 10 onwards, the fixes do get easier, and he's someone I'll keep an eye on. Next, Xhaka. I think Xhaka is like, okay, the second best after Sangare at 5.5. He's actually someone you want in stronger fixtures, like Arsenal, City, and Brentford, just because like the harder the fixture is, the more they'll fight in the midfield, and the more he can get like DEFCON, and the more you'd expect from him. So yeah, he's someone to keep an eye on. Like, he's good for like your fifth bench option, right? I wouldn't really start Xhaka week in and out. I would just like keep him for like an emergency where someone in the main team gets injured and I want to start someone I can rely on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And as far as the strikers go, I wasn't really that impressed with many. I'd keep an eye on like Yohan Wissa. I thought he was really good against Liverpool. And yeah, Newcastle's fixtures are really good. Like, they're fixtures where you wouldn't fancy them to win, but you'd fancy them to at least score or get something. So Tottenham, Bournemouth, Leeds, Hull, Coventry, Villa, Palace. Those are really good fixtures. You'd fancy them to score. But yeah, we'll see how they are against like different defenses. Cause yeah, Liverpool were leaving a lot of spacing behind, and that was letting Newcastle's fast forward players just to like get at them and exploit. We'll see how they are against like Tottenham and Bournemouth, who are not gonna leave as much spacing behind. But yeah, that's all from today. I think going forward I'm gonna captain Haaland, vice Bruno, and then monitor how Bruno and Mbeumo and Man United do against another like strong defense not strong defense, but a team that's gonna let them have the ball and leave themselves to be like worked out. I'm gonna keep an eye on Viets. Forest traditionally has been tough for Viets and Liverpool, and yeah, I'll have to see. I don't want to sell Viets before Ipswich away because that's the fixture I brought him in on. So yeah, I'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, these are tough defenses. Man City and Bournemouth are tough defenses. So yeah, if I'm wildcarding 3 or 4, I'll have to see how he performs, how he creates chances and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for letting me ramble. I'll post again this week. Just to like talk about my Game Week 2 thoughts. And yeah, peace.